Hello again, class, and welcome back to another day of language arts. Look, you see our dragon friends there. I believe his name is Drufus. He's going to pop up in our lesson today. But first, let's look at a little bit of writing, all right? So here's my paper once again that I have been using for some penmanship, some cursive writing. And here we have a capital O that I've already written on here. And if you find O, you can do that. Line it up. And just for practice, get the flow by tracing the letter. Then I'm going to look at that letter and I'm going to write it smaller. All right? But still get that shape, right? Close. Maybe I can do a few and say, which one looks the best? That one looks a little more, or looks even better maybe. We can always get better. We can always improve because no one's perfect, right? And notice the slant of the letters too. And then capital P. There's capital P that I had traced through the paper, and then lowercase p. Notice the formation. This was a letter, watch carefully, that for quite a while, students were doing incorrectly, some anyway. Notice which way you go, straight down there, come around that way. Not to be confused with Q, which goes the other way. So again, make sure that is correct. And then think of a word. That starts with a capital P. How about the word Pinocchio? How do you spell Pinocchio? Did I spell it right? That's a hard word to spell, isn't it? Oh, dot your I. Hope I spelled it right. And look. What's going on here? Fun little drawing. Tell what I'm doing there. There he is. Being silly now, but we need something to get our mind on this. Hey, we haven't done an art lesson in a while. Here's our Pinocchio friend. I'm going to illustrate a fun little quirky, quick little drawing. Look, you could color that in. You wouldn't normally do this on the paper, but anyway, you're just at home right now. Hey, look, let's practice doing a capital P. Maybe there's another thing you could do with lowercase p. I want to see that. And maybe pine. Hey, there's another video that was posted. I don't know if you watched it, about the fox squirrel that likes the pine cone seeds. So if you haven't looked at that, you might want to watch that. All right, and practice, do a row of O, do a row of P. Who's going to do that? Even though there's no grade, or you don't have to turn it in, but just, I don't want you to go backwards on your letters and then go to 5th grade and not know how to do cursive writing anymore correctly. Don't slip into any bad habits, and do a super job. Do your very best. All right? All right. Well, let me ask you a few reading questions as well from your story. First, do you remember these words? Which word should go in this sentence? I know I said these sentences yesterday too. See if you remember how to use the words. The prince wears what kind of clothes? If your words on your list Or words like aristocratic, correspondent, depot, gaunt, glistening, obligation, resolution, shiftless, strive, and waver. What word would fit best? The prince wears blank clothes. And hopefully you were thinking the word aristocratic. Everyone say aristocratic. All right. Yesterday, I wrote a letter to my what? What word would fit there based on your vocabulary words? You can look. Pick one. Did you say correspondent? That's someone you would write to. You must go to catch your train. You must go to where? The depot. Depot. The fat pig looked even more. Actually, that was from yesterday, and that was a false question. So the word is gaunt. What would look gaunt? You could say the skinny runt looked even more gaunt today. How about that? That would make a good sentence. The dew was what in the sun? The dew was what? Glistening in the sun. Glistening in the sun. I do my chores because it is my what? Did you say obligation? That's right, obligation. Stephen made what to stop being messy? What would he make? He decided to not be messy, right? So what word would fit there? He made a resolution not to be messy is the word that you should have. What else do I have written here? All right. What sort of man worked 2 jobs to support his family? Would that be a lazy man or a hardworking man? Hardworking man, right? So, how about the man who never showed up for work? We could call him what kind of man? Which would be the opposite of hardworking. Which word? The shiftless man never showed up for work. Right. You must what? You must blank to do well in school. You must what? What means to try hard to do well? You must strive to do well in school. Put forth much effort. One more. The tiny tree blank in the strong wind. What? Did you say wavered in the strong wind? If you did, you are absolutely correct. Now let me show you a little bit from your book right here. Let me ask you a few questions. Now, you read all the way through 289 and then some, maybe you're going to start on 290 for the next time, and you're going to read a wonderful story, by the way. But before we do that, or look at that, page 289, why did the elephant's child get popped so much? Why did she get popped so much? And because she did what? She asked so many questions. She got pretty irritable, or she caused others to get irritable anyway. Pestiferous is another word you could use. Annoying, like a fly in your face. What did the crocodile do to the elephant's child's nose? Funny little story here. Yeah, he stretched it out into what? A trunk. This is what you'd call sort of fable, huh? Or a how-to or how-did story. What were some of the things the elephant's child used his trunk for? Really a fun story. Hope you read it. And what were some of those things? I'm going to wait. I'm going to pause a minute so you can say them. Who said swatting flies? You could use that. You could say that. That's one thing that you used the trunk for. You used the trunk for gathering food, right? With the trunk. How about taking mud baths? Yeah. You could suck up the water with it and, make the water go all over room with this trunk. Sounds like something you'd see in a cartoon, doesn't it? What else? Popping his relatives. Whack. Just like that. Is this story true? Is this story true? Obviously not. It's not true. God gave the elephant his trunk when he created it. This didn't really happen. Just a fun story. Who do you think best loved is in this story? Who do you think best loved is in this story? The term best loved. And if you really think about it, it's the reader. The reader of the story is the best loved based on the story. So again, you've got some other fun. We've got a little bit of a jungle theme going on here with elephants and hippopotamus. Can you spell hippopotamus? And then go on to a tall tale. I'm sure you've heard of it before, but read it. It's a really good story. It's all about Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan, it's quite a whopper, isn't it? Whopper of a tale. And finish the story, and I'll ask you questions about that for the next time. Well, tell me, which word would I use in this sentence? Which word would I use in this sentence? Sit or set the coat on the chair. Sit or set the coat on the chair. Who said sit the coat there? Who said set the coat there? Set the coat. He has laid or lay or lain there a long time. Which one would it be? He has laid, lay, or lain there a long time. Raise your hand if you said lain. Lain. L-A-I-N. The lanes have it. You are correct. Remember, if there's a has or have, it's lain, to rest or recline. All right, so here's our dragon friend. The dragon, Drufus. Drufus the dragon lays down to sleep each night or lies down to sleep each night. You should have said lies down to sleep each night. The boy laid his cap on the nightstand or lie his cap on the nightstand or lies his cap on the nightstand. Which one should it be? Raise your hand. You said laid. Yes, he laid it there to put or place the cap on the nightstand. Maybe he took his cap off. Maybe he didn't have a coat rack. He just set it there. Laid it there. Yesterday, the dragon lay or lie down in the leaves or on the ground in this case. Yesterday, the dragon lie down in the leaves, or yesterday, the dragon lay down in the leaves. Think carefully about that one. And what should it be? Raise your hand if you said lay down. And it's because it's in the past. Okay? Today, he would lie down. But if it's in the past, he lay down. It already happened. And I know that's hard for us to think about, but just do it and do a super job. Now on page 253, you have some questions. Look at page 253 as we review a few things. And this is just a review lesson. We're going to go over a few things, and then we're going to be done. And you can just do your paper. But, for example, it's a beautiful day. there isn't a cloud in the sky. Number one, that was correct. I just want to hit on a couple without going through all of them, because I know that your parents will help you find the right answers if you didn't get them, or if you were missing one, or you weren't quite sure about one. The lion opened its mouth and yawned. Look at the very last one, number 10, on Think B of 253. The lion opened its mouth. Its is not correct, because it's, whenever there's a contraction, there's a verb with it, is or are, depending on the contraction that we've learned. So its means it is. And you wouldn't say the lion opened it is mouth. You'd say its mouth. It's showing ownership. Whose mouth? Its mouth. The lion's mouth. Right C, you wrote sentences. Very important to write those sentences. So I really hope, even though I'm not seeing every page you're doing, I'm just counting on, if you really care about doing well next year, you'll go ahead and do those and write those sentences. Even though maybe you're someone who doesn't like to write sentences, please do that and write a sentence for each of those. Remember D, the tall man asked, where is City Hall? That should be correct. There's quotation marks, there's a comma there. Notice the punctuation in the sentence there. What is your hamster's name? Ashley. That is correct. Notice it says, comma, Ashley. Do you see on page 253? Number 2 at the bottom. Number 3, they've driven from Toledo, Ohio to Fort Wayne, Indiana. That is incorrect. They've driven from Toledo, Ohio to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Why is that one incorrect? Why is it not correct? Remember, we do put a comma after the state if it's in the middle of a sentence. Now, if it falls at the end of a sentence, you just put a period and you don't need a comma. And that's a bit, might be confusing for someone, because often when you address a letter and you're writing the address, and here's the address, Toledo, comma, Ohio, 97342, or whatever the zip code is, which won't be the correct one for there, but you wouldn't put a comma when you're addressing the envelope, because there's a zip code right after it, and it's not a sentence. It's just, here's the address. But in a sentence, put a comma between the city and state, as well as after the state, if it's within a sentence. Unless it's at the very end where you put a period. Right, so that's why that one is. Oh, look at number 4. The game will begin at the very bottom of page 253. The game will begin at 800, said the coach. What should that say? It's telling you a time that's going to start. So it should be 8 o'clock. So you should have not forgotten to put the colon there, see? To put the colon, it's called a colon, where there's the 2 dots. When we use time, we use a colon to separate hours from minutes, all right? Look at number 7. Again, I'm not doing every single one, but, well, look at number 6. Yes, Lucas, comma, Atlanta, comma, Georgia is, again, that's incorrect too. The comma should be after yes, right? And then there's a comma after Georgia. So it's incorrect. Number 7 is correct. November 11th, comma, 1918, comma. Notice the comma after the 1918. And so those are the reasons why some of those, if you did not get one correct, that's why. On page 254 and 255 in your book, I want you to look at page 254 and 255 in your language book. Now, do you see that in your book? I've showed you a little bit in your book, and that's all right if you see a couple answers, because we'll just do a few together. There's quite a few to practice, and you'll still have plenty to practice on your own. The giraffe is or are tall. Were you thinking it was is even before you saw it, maybe? Is. It's singular, is. The boars are. This time there's an S, so it's plural. Therefore, you put are. You get the idea of it. They was, or they were. They were. So this again is subject and verb agreement. I think that you will know how to do that without too much of a problem. And then look on page 255, and you will see some that I'm showing you. May anyone or can anyone teach or learn him any manners? You would say, can anyone teach him any manners? In other words, you're asking, is someone able to teach him, give him the knowledge about manners? And that's what you should underline. You may or can sit or sit at my desk to do your homework. You have permission, so it's may. Sit. You sit down. You don't sit down at the desk, right? May or can I sit or set these boxes on your or in your closet? May. May I? You're asking permission to do it. And then sit. Set these boxes. If you're going to place them in the closet, you're setting them in the closet. So again, just go through the pages here. There's just 2 pages, and it's review and do what is instructed. So until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you are able to get your work done and still enjoy some time with your family, if that's what you're doing today. Whatever your situation is, I know it's different for all of us. And hey, join me for arithmetic if you haven't already. I don't know what order you watched the video, but I'm going to do an arithmetic video next. I'm excited about that, and learning about perimeter and area some more. So you take care, and I hope to see you soon, Lord willing, and you have a fantastic day. And remember, I'm praying for you, and God is with you. So bye for now, and be looking for the next video.